decided to take on the daunting task of shiny hunting not one, but 2 mythical Pokemon back to back. It wasn't easy. Both of these mythical shiny hunts were a roller coaster ride, let me tell you. Finding a shiny mythical Pokemon can range from rare to impossible. In the newer Pokemon games, most of the mythical Pokemon are shiny locked. Recently, due to updates in the recent games, Phione and Manaphy, 2 mythical Pokemon that were notoriously hard or impossible to get shiny previously, became increasingly easier to shiny hunt. Over the last few years, I've become obsessed, I mean literally obsessed, with trying to find rare shiny Pokemon like legendaries and mythicals, especially if they were cute. Phione and Manaphy were on that list of cuties. And to continue that quest, I knew I had to get these 2 rare shiny mythicals. Out of the 2, Phione is the easiest mythical Pokemon to shiny hunt because it's the only mythical that you can breed via eggs, aka the Masuda method. But Manaphy, on the other hand, was a bit difficult and time-consuming than any other shiny hunt I've experienced before. I'll get into that later. Here's a story of how I finally caught 2 rare shiny mythical Pokemon. Let's jump into it. First, let's jump into my hunt for shiny Phione and how it spiraled out of control. While shiny hunting Manaphy would be time consuming and a bit different, I decided to shiny hunt Phione first. And I wanted to take the plunge to check the shiny off of my list. I thought this was gonna be a piece of cake since I've done so many Masuda hunts before, but things didn't go quite that smoothly and my own actions were to blame. Finding shiny Phione is only possible if you breed Manaphy and a foreign language ditto. The odds were 1 in 1683 without the shiny charm, or 1 in 512 with the shiny charm. I had the shiny charm and a foreign language ditto, so I figured it was gonna be a quick and easy shiny hunt. The Masuda method is tedious, so I layered an extra bit of fun to this hunt to help move things along quicker. I decided to shiny hunt Phione using 2 games, 1 version of Pokemon Scarlet and 1 version of Pokemon Violet at the same time. Yeah, you heard me correctly. You didn't mishear. Was I crazy? Yes. Did I want shiny Phione as soon as possible so I can jump into my hunt for shiny Manaphy? Yes. All right, let's jump into the first day of this shiny hunt. I was so excited because I was shiny hunting on 2 Switches. And I felt like I could stack up my number of Phione encounters quickly. I was excited to finally get one of my first shiny mythicals pretty fast. It was a new challenge I wanted to try out because I never saw too many shiny hunts like this before. There's a reason, Colleen, but we'll get into that. I began hatching my first round of eggs. It was off to a great start. I was loving how easy and chilled this hunt seemed to be performing live, which is a perfect segue. If you aren't following me over on Twitch, you definitely should. We can yap while I do my next shiny hunt and get to know each other. Also, make sure to like this video and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. I also took this opportunity to re-explore the Paldea region because I sped through a lot of it during my first regular playthrough. So it was a great excuse to ride around and re-experience the region with fresh eyes. Everything was great until, shocking to absolutely no one, it wasn't. My silly little plan started crumbling before my eyes. Every couple of minutes, I had a Pokemon running into me, or I ran into a Pokemon I couldn't see because they were so small. Each accidental Pokemon encounter was eating away at the precious time that I could have been shiny hunting eggs. And then I would forget that I already hatched all the eggs in my party. So I was wasting more time. This was falling apart pretty quickly and it wasn't sustainable. Then the final straw. Not only did I fail a shiny Tarantula, a shiny I did not have, I came dangerously close to failing another shiny in the same game, not even 10 minutes later. Disappointment washed over me when I ended stream because I feared I might be in too deep with this hunt. I attempted attempted the same double shiny hunt on a second day to see if it was just nerves on the first day. But alas, it just went wrong, like the first day. So this is why I didn't see many shiny hunters doing a double Masuda hunt in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. It was too much effort for very little payoff, to be honest. I fear my impatience got the best of me, and this was a little lesson for me. This is what happens when I try to rush a shiny hunt. Complete and utter chaos. Also, before you start writing a little hate comment like, Colleen, this was such a crazy idea for you to do a double Masuda hunt in Scarlet Violet. I could have told you it wasn't smart. Okay, I know now, but I need to make these silly little mistakes to learn from them. Plus, it's good content. My brain and eyes needed a break after those last two streams. So I took this shiny hunt offline with controlling one switch at a time. And actually, things started to get better. And I was able to relax and enjoy the ride again as I went through these couple batches of eggs. I also decided to stick to my original plan of exploring Paldea, Kitakami, and the various biomes of Blueberry Academy because I love finding new spots and revisiting old ones. While exploring new areas, I also found new shiny Pokemon friends to add to my collection along the way. There were some surprises in there actually. By the end of that offline shiny hunting session, not only did I hit odds, but I was over odds at 700 encounters. Even though it was annoying, I was over odds, I knew I had to get it eventually, right? When I went live on day 3, I decided to take a healthier, more hybrid approach. I still had 2 switches because I had a copious amount of eggs banked up on each switch, but I only controlled one game at a time, alternating between hatching on Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet. And then the shiny gods must have appreciated that I took a chill pill on this hunt because something finally happened that was really, really exciting. Also, oh my God! Form is real! Oh my God! Oh my God! 719! I did it! In the words of Ariana Grande, you're green? Oh my gosh, my shiny Phione is finally here. You might be saying, Colleen, Phione isn't that special, but in my eyes, it was a special Pokemon because it was one of my first shiny mythicals in my collection. After a roller coaster ride that Phione put me on, I walked into my shiny hunt for Manaphy a bit nervous. Previously, it was next to impossible to get shiny Manaphy unless you went back in time and got a copy of Pokemon Ranger when it was first released, and did a few annoying steps along the way. I always wanted to try and find shiny Manaphy because not only it was a mythical, but it was so cute. And I'm just a girl on the internet that adores cute shiny Pokemon. I knew I had to have it, but I figured I would never get the opportunity. So it felt like an impossible task to attempt a shiny hunt until Game Freak and the Pokemon Company decided to release shiny Manaphy as a gift in Pokemon Home for completing a living Pokedex for Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. I have completed Pokedexes before because I have the shiny charm in most of my Pokemon games, but I never had a full living dex in Pokemon Home. It might be easy for some Pokemon players to do, but it wasn't easy for me because I'm really bad at organizing. Don't look at my boxes, they're so messy. As a birthday present to myself, I wanted to try to get shiny Manaphy. I started the preparation to complete most of the living decks in Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl by my birthday. So the last time I touched Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, I spent years standing in front of Arceus, resetting for that shiny Pokemon. Before attempting Arceus, I really didn't play the games that much. When I went to investigate what I needed for the Pokedex, my heart sank. I felt overwhelmed that I had to fill in random gaps or huge gaps in my living decks of BDSP. I was accustomed to shiny hunting by running around somewhere, by running into Pokemon, by hatching eggs or soft resetting. I wasn't used to this. It was difficult to wrap my brain around that I had to hunt for other Pokemon to get a shiny mythical Pokemon prize at the end. The task started to make me feel very anxious, and I almost backed out of this plan. It felt super intimidating because, confession here, chat, I just started using Pokemon Home to complete this dex. So, oops. There was a huge learning curve here. So to overcome my nerves, I decided to set up a spreadsheet marking what Pokemon I had, what Pokemon I needed, and how to get them. I put the Pokemon I needed into 4 categories: catching in the wild, evolving by leveling up or friendship, breeding, and transferring a Pokemon into another game to evolve. Off stream, I did those things. I caught Pokemon that were easily found in the wild. Sometimes I had to catch the same Pokemon twice so I could level one up. I explored areas of Sinnoh I haven't stepped foot in a very long time. I made sure my experience share was on so I could level up Pokemon quicker. And since I don't have a second copy of Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl on hand, I found version exclusives or hard to find Pokemon that I needed to breed in the daycare so they counted towards my living dex in Pokemon Home. And then I rode my bike to hatch way too many eggs for way too many hours. Sometimes I had to breed 10 plus Pokemon to find the correct gender of a certain Pokemon. I'm looking at you, Combi. Took forever. You took way too long. Also, if there was a trade evolution or if it was easy to level up a Pokemon in Pokemon Legends Arceus, I put a handful of Pokemon in that game and gave them all the items I've hoarded over the years to good use, finally. Or if I didn't have a certain item for a Pokemon, Feebas specifically, I transfer it to another game to evolve it. What kept me going is that Pokemon players completed living dexes all the time with ease. I knew I needed to start somewhere and learn how to do it. It was a lot of work, but I knew in the end it would be worth it, all for my beloved shiny Manaphy. After many hours of grinding, evolving, catching, breeding, taking one Pokemon and putting it into another Pokemon game and then transferring it back and keeping it all track, I was down to catching my last few Pokemon. They were easier catches that I could find them with little to no effort. So I decided to catch these last few Pokemon on my birthday stream. And after finding them, I celebrated my birthday by getting a rare shiny mythical Pokemon. Pokemon Home, it's time, everyone. It's completed, look at it. It has a little crown next to it. I completed it. Okay, it says brilliant. We're one step closer fulfilling my dream. Oh, I went too fast. Who is this guy? Grand Oak. Who are you? Grand Oak. I see you register every single Pokemon for the Sinnoh Pokedex. You were the most certainly the right one to entrust me with this monumental task. Absolutely brilliant. Great job. I hope you keep up the fantastic work. What could it be? I wonder what could it be? It's here. I got Manaphy. It's so cute. Look at it. It's finally here. Oh my gosh, look at it. It's so cute. Oh my god, it's adorable. This is like I'm really proud of myself for accomplishing this. Look how cute they are. It's so cute. It was great to see that the Pokemon Company were making it easy to get shiny mythical Pokemon and making it more accessible to players in such unique, fun ways. I was definitely going to try and get other shiny mythical Pokemon added to my collection. I'm looking at you, shiny Keldeo. I'm a horse girly at heart. You're mine next. So that's the story of finding 2 shiny mythical Pokemon back to back from each other. I would say it was a fun ride and I learned a lot. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Have you tried the shiny hunt for Phione or Manaphy before? Or any other mythical? Let me know in the comments down below. Please like and subscribe and leave a comment on this video. I would really appreciate it. I also stream over on Twitch, so drop a follow over there if you want to hang out with me during my next shiny hunt. Thanks, Smile!